All right, hello and welcome. This is going to be part of a series that I'm doing for a developer advocate take-home assignment for a company called Stytch. And so I thought it'd be fun to kind of turn it into a series. So it should be about 4 videos. And this first one will really be about talking about the company, introducing the challenge, what I have to do, and then explaining the plan, like what are the steps that I'm going to take to do this take home. So let's dive in. So this is for Stytch. It's in the authentication space. So they've got an API, they've got SDKs. Basically the way that I map it in my brain is, you've got like Clerk, you've got Stytch, you've got Kind, auth 0. So kind of that's the space that we're going to be working in. So first things first, let's kind of walk through what their take-home is. So they expect it to take 2 to 3 hours. I'm going to plan for 2 hours, including this video. So the ask, using any resources you like, our client libraries, example apps, make something with our API. That's really open-ended, so here are some ideas based on what other folks have built. A user management dashboard, automated end-to-end login tests, a demo replacement for existing apps login flow. Cool. So, and then later, so I do this take home, I send it to them, or I guess I send them my app. I'll probably send them the videos too. And yeah, and then I think there will be a chat with the team about, hey, how's your experience? What'd you build? Tell us about it. We'd love to hear where you think Stytch can improve anywhere along your path from top of funnel to live traffic. Cool. And so we've got the docs, the API, all of that. Cool. So I kind of did a little, I chatted with, I want to say the recruiter about this. Again, I'm going to time box to 2 hours. This video should be hopefully like 15 to 20 minutes. And I'm going to do 4 phases because I like breaking things up into smaller things so they're easier to tackle. So phase 1, we're going to apply a technique I like called Sales Safari. So rather than just, coming up with a random idea, I kind of want to see what are people already talking about with Stytch? What are the pain points, that kind of thing. After we do that, in the next video, we'll scope out what we're going to build. So we'll use something like Scally Draw, talk about it, talk about the different pieces, and then we'll build it. And so that will probably be, that'll be like less talking and more like, kind of like the live stream style, like live coding, where I'll record the video and I'll upload it. Might be huge, or maybe I'll stream it on Twitch. We'll see. I'll see if I can stream it on Twitch. And then finally, I'll demo, I'll do a video kind of demoing what I built. This will be just for my own practice so that when I go and meet with them at the next interview, I'm ready to demo. And also just to show you all watching what we built. So cool. So I'm going to start the timer for 15 minutes. And the first thing we're going to do is Sales Safari. So Sales Safari, I've got this blog post here, which I'll link in the YouTube video. But in a nutshell, it's basically this idea of coming up with content based on what your audience or community, the people that you're serving, are already saying. So, a great example, like let's say you are selling, I don't know, tickets for a petting zoo. So what you might do is, let's say you don't have the petting zoo. You might look at people who already exist in the space, like companies that already exist, and do some research online. Find out where, what people are saying online, or, it might be Facebook. So you might go to Facebook, look at a group of like, let's say moms in Arizona, and see like, okay, what are people recommending for petting zoos in Phoenix? So, go to the group, join, search for petting zoos, find a post that has maybe comments or replies, and then apply this Sales Safari technique. So that's kind of the nutshell. This kind of gives you the strategy, I guess, for doing it. So what I like to do is come here and grab this template. And I'm going to come in here. This is just standard notes. It's like my note-taking tool. So we'll do Sales Safari. And we'll put in that there. Cool. So 2 minutes in. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to try Reddit. We'll try Reddit and Twitter and see what comes up. So for Reddit, we are just going to search for Stytch and see, because I mean it's spelled in a unique way, so we should be able to get some results. Okay, so a lot of job posting. Oh man, it's literally all job postings. Data engineer. Okay, literally. Okay, so there might not be much for us to go off here. What I was looking for was like, hey, like I'm using Stytch to build X, you know? So yeah, I mean, we probably don't need to scroll any further. So let's go to Twitter. And then we can also try Hacker News. So let's see what their account is. Stytch auth. Okay. Go to search. We'll do this, and let's see what are the top. Blog posts incoming. We built SAML and user management lightning fast. Cool. An incredibly generous free plan. Where someone needs to have access to belong to multiple, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so recognize, ship forward. What is an API that is an absolute joy to use? So Stytch, does this person work for Stytch? No? Okay. Seems like really good product. Okay, it's the same thing. Okay, so there might not be a ton for us to look at here. So we're going to take a different approach. And we're going to go to, well, two things I want to do here first. I want to pull up, where was it? Let's pull up their docs. And I want to see like what kind of, where are the developer docs? Explore docs by choosing, oh, okay. Or, I mean, consumer. We'll probably do consumer. Okay. What kind of demo apps do they have? Okay, let's try. Okay, so they've got some like Next.js stuff, React one. So that's what I'm familiar with. Cool. So they have an example, you know, which we can look at for inspiration when we get to building. We're about 5 minutes in. So what I want to do instead is, because we don't really, there's not a lot we can go off here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the React.js subreddit. So this is kind of the watering hole that we're going to look at, kind of like the moms group I was saying. And now that we're here, we're going to search for, let's do two things. Let me pull up Stytch. And I want to, okay, so here, you know, a lot of people have talked about their APIs, their SDKs, right? And if we go to the product, authentication, right? So that kind of word, that language is what Stytch is already using in their marketing. So we're just going to type in auth. That should get us auth and authentication. And what we're going to do is sort by, in the past month, what are people talking about with auth? Okay, 4 days ago. Cool. This is going to be, it's got how many comments? 13 comments. Cool. So let's do our sales Safari with this one. So let me come over here. Cool. Today's, or the date of that post is, should show the timestamp, Saturday, August 12th. Okay. So sat Aug 12th. Cool. Okay. So what are their pains, right? What are the pains that come up, right? So you'll see the poster's pains, current, past, if they have any, right? So let's read it. What is the best auth for React and Node.js? Just a quick question regarding auth. I've been reading into some frameworks for auth, and it seems like passport.js is the best way to go for simplicity and security reasons. I'm building a software that will be used by the general public, so consumers, and I'm just trying to get informed on security. Okay. So I don't have to hire somebody to do it for me. Okay, so funny. So the pain points here, I would say there's two, right? The first is lack of security knowledge. And then like, I don't know how you would phrase this, but like potential costs, right? Money they don't want to spend. So they don't want to have somebody, they don't want to build an insecure app, right? Because they don't have security knowledge, right? They're like, I'm just trying to get informed on security. And they say, I don't want to have to hire someone to do it, right? So if they had the money and they were okay spending that money on that gap that they have, they'd be okay with that potential cost, but they're not. So that's kind of the pain, right? Jargon. So terms of art, technical lingo, community phrases. Cool. So let's see. So I won't read all these out loud, but I'll just kind of comment on them. So JWT, like a JOT, JSON Web Token, I believe. I don't know what OWASP, OWASP, however you say that. I don't know what that is. Well, we'll add that down. And then also, because I'm seeing it, passport.js is coming up. OAuth, SAML, I'm forgetting what SAML stands for. So we'll add that there. Supabase is another recommendation. Firebase. Okay. Next auth, which I've used. If you plan to deploy your app to the public, I would advise you to read on some security principles first, because it's easy to make mistakes regardless, which is true. I guess, you know, any tool that you use isn't going to be flawless. I mean, API keys can get exposed and all that, so. Auth 0, Clerk are great. Next auth is, so we'll add a Clerk and auth 0. Let's see. Always hash insult, right? So there's some jargon. And I know we're building an app, but this is kind of getting the ball rolling for us. And things like to keep in mind. Don't waste time. I would go for a hosted solution. Okay. Don't build anything from scratch. Okay. Cool. So that's probably good. That was just kind of like a fun little exercise to get the ball rolling. I'm trying to think. I guess the only other thing we'll do real quick from the Sales Safari is, so we'll probably use their React SDK and just take a look and see like how this works. The React SDK. So let's click into that, see what just that looks. Okay, so we've got, oh, that's cool. They have a specific Next.js package. Okay, let's go to installation. Okay, so you're wrapping your app in it. Stytch. Oh, okay, so you've got a public token. Interesting, though. So initialize with a B2B client. Wait. That's confusing. Initialize the SDK with a Stytch headless. Okay, well, I don't want to go down the rabbit hole, but one-time passcodes. It's cool. Okay, so it's got a ton of stuff. Okay. So if we come back. Okay, so I guess here we got to think about our target audience. So we're building, or I guess I'm building for the interviewers, employees at Stytch. So we've got that. We looked at the React.js community, which actually, now that I'm saying this out loud, what we can do is kind of combine all these things, right? So we've done the Sales Safari. 4 days ago, somebody was asking for auth. So I can actually post on this after I build my app, kind of get it out there. and talk about like, hey, like, you know, I felt the same pain. I am not a security expert, and I also didn't want to spend money to get a security audit because this is a side project and there's no revenue. I ended up choosing Stytch for these reasons, XYZ. Here's how it compares to NextAuth and Clerk or auth0, like whatever. Like in the past, I've used NextAuth, like that was the latest one I used. I did try out Clerk too, just a quick demo. So let's write that down actually, because I don't want to forget that. So after creating app, reply as a comment. I had the same question. I found Stytch the other day and use their React SDK, right? So we're kind of like, we have the beginning and we have the end, and then the middle will be building the app. But we know kind of how we're going to use it. And the same question, I found Stytch the other day and used React. I am no security expert and didn't want to pay for a security audit because it's just a side project. I found Stytch the other day and used React TK. It used, we'll say, NextAuth in the past, but wanted to try something new. Here's a link to the, like, I don't know, a basic web app with magic links that I built for fun. Cool. You know, something like that. Okay. Cool. So I think that will wrap it for our part 1 of the sales safari. So I'll drop, after I upload this video, I'll drop a link to, well, I can't upload the PDF for the take home, but I'll drop a link to, or I'll add this sales safari to the description of the video in case you're curious, you want that. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video.